Hey guys, I'm Brett. I'm going to go over how timelines work. It might seem overwhelming at first, but I will explain it all. So just bear with me. All right. So first over here we have timelines, okay? Right there. Each number represents a different timeline. This is you. You're this beautiful little purple guy, um, kind of pink, I guess. But each of these bars here is a different past and future. So let's call the present. So the present can be C right here, okay? We're C. And the past is A. And the past is also B. And the future is D. And the future is also E. So each of these black boxes here represents a moment in time. Now, if you follow the number 5, each of those is that moment in time, the past and the future and the present. So C would be the present moment on timeline 5. If you're following along here, that is great. I'm just going to delete these little things. I probably shouldn't do that many and make it look a little crazier. Okay, so your C, this represents this yellow one represents exactly where you are right now in the present moment. Now, the other thing that I'm going to explain here is, let's say 5, the number 5 represents positive, okay? So 5 is positive and 1 is negative. So there's kind of a scale here. So as we go up and we shift timelines, if we're doing well, we're going to shift upwards, and if we're, still learning, we're going to shift downwards sometimes. So sometimes we're just going to stay the same. Okay? So as some people, Bashar and other people have talked about, I've tried to illustrate a film strip. So if you think about a film strip, each of these moments in time here would represent a moment. Again, A, B, C, D, E are all different moments. Okay, so again, we're going to just start right in the middle. I should explain again, the bottom bar is past, present, and future. So this bottom bar represents time. This sidebar represents both negativity and positivity. We have the timelines, and again, just going through the time itself. Uh, Again, each of these is just, we're getting higher along the positive spectrum and lower on the negative spectrum. There is no such thing as absolute negativity, but I suppose absolute positivity would be um, just source and love and everything that all that is, which would also then include all the negativity. Um, Without going into that, that's a whole other topic. So we're just going to focus on timelines here. I'll do another video on all that stuff. Okay, so we are right in the middle at level 3 timeline and on the C in the present time. Okay, so let's say you have a moment and you decide, let's say something happens. Okay, we're going to take a reaction. Let's say, I'll use one because I deal with it. Let's say my dog chewed something. Okay, so right here, the reaction is neutral. Okay, so the every every sort of moment, everything that happens is a neutral scenario. So again, just for illustration purposes, we're starting at 3 on this yellow here. Now we have the option to choose how we react in the moment. So we can either have a neutral reaction, say, it's not a big deal, or we could say, oh, let's look at the positive here. Okay, my dog chewed this, but I needed a new one anyways. Or the real positive, my dog chewed this, that just is going to show me I need some more training for my animal. I needed a new one anyways, blah, blah, blah. So how we react in the moment is basing on kind of where we're going. So, as we're going up, and then, you have a neutral reaction, nothing, it's not a big deal. You just clean it up. Or you clean up the mess and you throw the thing out that they chewed. Or you can have a negative reaction. You get angry at the dog and you say, "Oh darn, I had this. Those are my nice shoes, and you chewed them up, and I'm mad now." And then a super negative reaction where you smack the dog and and just give them if that's your type of training. But obviously I don't condone violence, but um, maybe you get super frustrated and you're yelling and you're making a big scene and you cause a huge issue in front of your family. Those are your favorite pair of shoes at the dog shoot, and now you get super negative, and it creates a kind of a negative reaction to a situation. So that's where you end up down here. Again, don't condone any sort of violence on animals. Um, unless you're in a life-threatening situation, I suppose. But that's a whole other topic again. So again, we're down here. That's how you reacted. So now you've shifted down. You've shifted to this time frame. Now, again, in life, what we're doing is we're kind of going up and then down, and then we're always should be aiming to be going like this. We should always be aiming to go up. And so as you learn something new, you're going to take it, and then you're going to have a little fallback, but you're going to go up again. You learn something new again, and then you fall back, you go up again. So we're always shifting upwards. That's how we want. We never want to be going downwards. But that's just how it kind of all works. So again, you have the choice in the moment to react how you will. And so in this scenario, you've chosen the negative. You're super angry, you cause a big scene, and you've now shifted down to -1. Or sorry, not -1. You shifted down to 1. Now, as you go past that moment, you're here because you had a new starting point. So now your new starting point is here. We should change this to probably yellow now. And this area is now your new spot because you reacted in the moment to here, and now your next moment is right here where this new yellow part is. Okay, so that's kind of how it works. Now, if you would have had a positive reaction, again, we'll change it to blue here, and let's say again you had a positive reaction in the moment, you've shifted upwards. You're maybe you didn't go that high, maybe you're just down here, and then in the next moment you start here. So, I guess I should use yellow. Now you're here. Okay, so that's kind of how it works. Now you've shifted up, you've followed this trajectory here instead of following, this one way down here. You kind of shifted down in the moment, you reacted poorly, and then you ended here. I made these kind of lines to kind of illustrate. Now, the interesting thing is when we think about our future and our past, everything is happening simultaneously. Everything has already happened. Every potential outcome, again, we're going into theoretical physics, and the multiverses, and every possible option is available. And again, if you've been following any of my talks in the past, or know anything about me, I believe that uh, uh, essentially we all outcomes exist, and um, we're just kind of the if the masculine source knows everything and it has everything, then we're the feminine energy that goes out to, the masculine has all the knowledge, and we're the feminine that goes out and kind of experiences and sees how we would actually have experienced that life by living it, seeing the whole from just a different perspective. And that kind of brings back, oh, okay, we decided to do this in this life, and even though we had all possible options, this is how we actually lived it. And we're bringing back that wisdom, because now we have the experience and we're combining it with the knowledge, and we create that wisdom for source, again, seeing itself from a new perspective. um, that's a sidebar, but regardless, that kind of goes with this whole timeline thing, because again, now you've shifted to a positive, you've had a better reaction, you ended up here, and then your next moment is right here. And obviously as that shifts, so does the present, and the whole thing shifts forward. Now again, what's interesting, as each time we shift, and I know Bashar has talked about this and other people have talked about this, each time we shift, we actually create a different path. So you're right here. This is your new, your new present moment. You've shifted up to 4. You're up here. But because this timeline exists on a separate timeline, you actually have a different past. So every time you're shifting more to a positive note, again, we're going up we want to make it look like a ladder, or the staircase. We want to be kind of going up, leveling off, going up. A little bit of a drop's fine as we're going through the curve. That's normal. That's you can't ever get mad at yourself for failing, because there is no such thing as failing. You're only going to go through the same types of experiences over and over and over and over and over again until you learn them. That's just how it works. Um, Sorry, I know I'm not looking at the camera. I'm looking more at the screen. But so again, with the new D, you're at D4 now. This is you right here, and because of that, you have a new past, and guess what? You have a new future outcome. Your outcome, maybe by experiencing that way, your kids are like, oh, wow, that isn't a big deal, and now your kids see that and they potentially have a different future. Now again, I'm not perfect. I fail at this all the time. I'm always learning, always making mistakes. I'm always trying to recorrect. um, just the other day I got frustrated at my dogs because they chewed my ball. And I just, and you can look at that and be like, oh, well, he's spiritual, but I'm still a person. I still get frustrated at things, and I try to be better every time, but just a person. So, but this is how it works. So, if you're starting here again, you're right in the middle here. We're gonna try to always be shifting up. We always want to be going up in this again pattern. Climb that staircase, climb that mountain, get up, keep going, and do your best, because that's all we can do. Now, again, if you shift down, you shifted down here now. Uh-oh. That doesn't mean you can't come back up, in the next moment. You can end up right back here. You shifted down. Oh man, darn, I had a tough day. In the next moment, or the next day, you're up here again, because guess what? You reacted differently. You changed how you feel. You vibrated higher, and so that's how it works. We're never stuck. This is actually happening. This whole process is happening, billions of times per second, because there is no such thing as uh, non-instant manifestation. And what I mean by that is, the only reason why you experience life and experience thing in sequence is because, first off, to have experiential reality, we had to kind of agree to experience this and experience the way this is. But on the other side, that's not how it works. Everything is like there. You think of a castle, it's there. It's just that you're not confined by the same rules, if you will, as Earth and Earth School and life in this universe. That's just how this works. So at any moment, there has to feel like there's kind of a steady flow, because if there's not, then you're going to end up with you know weird time jumps. And you've probably experienced it. You've seen one person saying one thing, or you have all those, what are they called, the Berenstein Bears thing. You have all those types of things going on, where a large portion believes something wasn't there and another portion does, and everyone's right, because all that's happening is we're just shifting timelines. And depending on where you are in your timeline and how you're vibrating, and with the collective, you're going to resonate. All we're doing is matching frequencies. If somebody's singing up here and you want to match it, if you don't match it in a nice note, guess what? You're going to sound off key, and it's going to sound horrible, and you're not going to be singing with the song. But if you match that, you're at a nice pitch. You can even harmonize with it, in different ways, different frequencies, and that's how you can have nice sounds and nice things. But it's also how you, as a soul, as a person, can kind of grow. And that's why we, like attracts like. We find our tribe that way, all that stuff. Again, opposites attract is also a whole other thing. um, there's just so much you can get into, but I just wanted to explain kind of the basic premise around this. So again, I've connected the whole grid. If I delete all this crap, you can see the whole grid again. it's just this is just how it works, right? So again, you're right. Oh my gosh, I clicked it a lot. This is called ADHD, people. Um, this is just how it works. So you're right in the middle here, right where I'm unclicking my guy, and this is where you are. You're on the yellow block. So, in this moment right now, what can we do to, vibrate higher? And it's not to say that typically following your highest excitement and your highest joy, doing what you love to do, that's gonna, pull you up along the scale. If you're always doing the best you can in every situation, always doing what you can, with what you have, and you're gonna succeed in life, and that's just how it works. That's physics too. This stuff can and will be proven, and some of it has been proven. And there's lots of things, but again, each of these moments is a new a fraction of a second. We're going through these billions of times a second. You're vibrating up and down. And because it's, again, if you're looking at a film strip, this strip looks very similar to this strip. It looks very similar, but so many moves. A really good way to think about this is stop motion photography. Where they have the little like guys they set up. Wallace and Gromit was a good movie. Um, they have all those little stop, and it's like you're turning the the guys, each motion is a new frame. That's all you have to think about life. Like even when you just move your arm to the side, that was like 20 different frames, you know, but that's how life is. So and not only is it 20 different frames, there's also particles and all that stuff, and sound and light and all this crap, and so it's like it's just happening billions of times a second. So this is essentially this entire thing that I built is just diluting it down to like a minute little detail. Again, you'd go through probably a billion of these, to have any sort of sequence at all. But this is just how it works. So I hope this is helpful. There, don't worry. You will always be push towards the positive. And what I mean by that is whether this lifetime, next lifetime, whatever you're experiencing, obviously if you're watching this video, you're probably not a crap person. And what I mean by that is, you're probably not going through and experiencing an entire, you know, doing terrible things to people and, uh, purposely, because you wouldn't be able to even vibrate at the frequency to be able to watch something and review yourself and try to improve your life. And this, I'd argue that this is something to try to improve your life with. This knowledge, so you wouldn't even be vibrating on this page. And again, that's why you can live multiple lifetimes over and over and over as you go through the karma and as you go through all of that stuff, because you have to clear out the negativity, and it takes a long time, and depending on what you decided to live or experience, and that's just how it is. And that's why there is no such thing as bad and good, because it's just everything is neutral, and it's react, and you react to things, and that determines everything. That's why shadow work works so well, because you're evaluating your beliefs. You're taking that time to evaluate yourself and be like, should I have done differently? Why do I think this way? Why do I do this? What can I do to be better? Um, and what do I believe about myself that isn't working? So all of that stuff is relative and sorry, relevant, and yeah, it's just all part of it. So don't judge yourself for where you are. Don't not you know try and just be better all the time. Just do it. Just do your best, because that's all we can do is do our best. And if you're anything about self-improvement, if you're watching this video, I know you must be. So just it's okay, and whatever you believe is okay too. Like take what resonates and leave what doesn't. You can make these things fit into your beliefs. I call it creator, source, universe. Sometimes I even call it God still. It is what it is. It's all of us. It's everything. And we're all speaking to the same thing. And this is just how life works, the life that we're living, because again, time doesn't exist outside of where we are in the same sense. Um, I do want to say one last thing about positive and negativity is, positivity, like pure source, is all love, right? So it's like if you are ever unconditional if you have ever experienced unconditional love, that's what we are all made of. That's everything. And so unconditional love loves even the negative side. And that's why, there's always a slight lean towards the positive, because, negativity is loved still, and it's still a valid experience. It's still part of the whole. And that's why, again, we can't judge anybody for where they are on their journeys and all that. So, and you can't judge yourself. Just do your best and keep doing your best. Um, but always try to vibrate well. You're starting here. Maybe you can get to here. And then the next moment you're here, and then you go here, and then oh darn, I dropped here. But guess what? The next moment's you're way up here, and then you kind of go. You just keep trying to go up and up and up, right? That's all we can do. So I hope this explains this better. I made it for that reason. I might have to do another one, a shorter one, and cut out all the fluff, but I do hope that this helps. Um, yeah, if you have any questions, please ask. Feel free. Um, I'll probably post this on YouTube, so like, subscribe, do all that stuff, that fun, cool stuff. I hope to bring you more. If you have any other questions about other things, I'm more than willing to help and do my best. So I hope this helps you understand how each second works and how positive and negative works within the timelines and where you are. And much love and peace on your journey, friends. Goodbye. Brett out.